a $65 billion hit. The fateful year 2008 was coming to an end after surviving the bursting of the real estate bubble. Then, another bombshell shocked the financial world. On Thursday, December 11, 2008, one of Wall Street's most respected and well-known investors was arrested, accused of being the mastermind of a multi-billion-dollar financial pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme so large that to this day only a few of its victims have recovered all of their losses. That investor was Bernard Madoff, former chairman of Nasdaq and a figure with nearly 50 years in the business. In today's video, we're going to tell you the story of the man who committed the biggest financial crime in U.S. history and was sentenced to 150 years in prison. But first, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to our channel. The son of an Eastern European immigrant couple of Jewish origin, Bernie Madoff, as he was known, built his Wall Street history from scratch. In 1960, he founded Bernard L. Madoff Securities, an investment company whose main function was to provide liquidity to the market. The company soon became one of the leading businesses in the U.S. market, making Madoff a major player in the process of modernizing stock market operations. Such prestige and prominence in the modernization of the real estate market led him to an important position as chairman of Nasdaq in the early 1990s. With decades of experience in the market and an enviable reputation, Madoff started working in the asset management segment, i.e. investing in third-party capital. Well connected, especially within the Jewish community of New York and Long Island, Madoff began investing the money of friends, family, and acquaintances who frequented the city's country club. Madoff did not discuss his investment methods. All that was known was that, year after year, his mutual fund delivered steady returns, even during difficult market periods. And there were many difficult periods. Madoff safely ran his fraud scheme during a severe recession in the early 1990s, a global financial crisis in 1998, and the harrowing aftermath of the September 2001 terrorist attacks. Madoff's aura of exclusivity and fame soon spread throughout the market, attracting the attention of hedge funds, private banks, global banks, and other diverse institutional investors. In addition to institutions, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals also began to invest with him, including actor Kevin Bacon and Nobel Peace Prize winner Elie Wiesel. With his reputation as a financial wizard, Madoff received more and more money to invest in his investment fund. As a result, he maintained a lavish lifestyle and owned several luxury properties in Manhattan, the Hamptons and Palm Beach, as well as boats and a private jet. Highly philanthropic, Madoff was a guaranteed presence at most American high society events. However, no one realized that it was all a big hoax. When panic gripped the markets during the 2008 financial crisis, Madoff began receiving a wave of redemptions from his investment fund. In total, investors demanded some $7 billion from his fund. The problem was that Madoff had only $200 million to pay out. In general desperation, Bernie Madoff could not convince investors to keep their positions in the fund. Thus, the fraud was exposed. It was nothing more than a financial pyramid. Facing ruin, Madoff confessed to his two sons that his supposedly lucrative money management operation was in fact a big lie. And the next day, on December 11, 2008, his sons reported his confession to the police, which led to his arrest in his Manhattan penthouse. It was discovered that the pyramid lasted nearly 20 years, and Madoff did not do any trading with investor funds. All the money went into his personal account at Chase Manhattan Bank. In a classic financial pyramid scheme, Madoff paid early investors with money from latecomers. According to investigations, he began falsifying fund statements when the market stalled during the Gulf crisis in 1990, and to please institutional investors. A year later, in 2009, Bernie Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison. The scam affected some 37,000 investors in 136 countries. Much more than money was lost in this story. At least two people, distraught over their losses, ended up taking their own lives. Others lost the trust and friendship of family and dear friends who inadvertently referred them to the investor. Reports indicate that the firm had $65 billion under management, but it turned out that this figure was simply artificially inflated. In total, Madoff managed some $17 billion, which remains the largest scam in U.S. history. Bernie Madoff was to cause irreparable pain to what the newspapers of the time called his last victim. His eldest son, Mark, committed suicide in his Manhattan apartment on the morning of December 11, 2010, the exact day of the second anniversary of his father's arrest. Before receiving his sentencing on June 29, 2009 in a Manhattan federal courtroom packed with spectators and victims, Madoff read the following statement: that I am responsible for much pain and suffering. I understand. I now live in torment, knowing all the pain and suffering I have created. I have left a legacy of shame, as some of my victims have pointed out, for my family and grandchildren. Bernard Madoff died in Butler Prison in North Carolina on April 14, 2021, at the age of 82, and to this day many of his victims await compensation for their losses.